Friends, today we are going to do the bending of moment on a beam. It is the 13th video. First, you must know what a beam. When I say a beam is a long bar. It is like an oxa blade or a bar or a rod or having a uniform cross section area, okay, and whose length, the length is very, very large compared to the thickness. I represent D is the thickness, right? If D is the thickness, suppose D is the thickness of the rod or bar, whatever it is you call, and the length is very, very large, and you fix this metallic beam at one end, right, and apply a force or put some weight. Weight is equal to mg, or this is also called load. When you apply a load at one end, what actually happens is the rod bends. Understood? The rod or the metal bar bends, right? So much is it has bent so much, maybe 10 millimeter or 12 meter, depends upon the weight. After that, it will come to an equilibrium. Why it is coming in equilibrium? Because applied force is this direction. This is an action. This is an action. There is a reaction is opposite direction. Action is downward. Action is downward. Reaction is upward. The action is due to stress or force. Force. What this force is also called shearing force, or the corresponding stress is called shearing stress. What is the shearing stress? You call force per unit area. Isn't it? Now, what is strain? That is important. What is strain? Strain, shearing strain is equal to change in length by original length. Now the problem is, see, here is the rod, is the metal. Q is equal to Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain, shearing stress by shearing strain. Now what you get? Stress is equal to force per unit area. Strain is what? Increase in length by original length. Again we are doing the same thing. FL A and increasing length. Now I have to calculate, just I want to find out how to calculate the increasing length. You can easily calculate the increasing length. That is what? FL QA and so on. Not increasing length means I'll tell you what the increasing length. Here you are not pulling this direction or that direction. I'll tell you increase in that length. This is the very important calculation in this derivation. Now first you are defining again. This, when I say this metal or rod, I'm going to take what is that, an oxa blade type. Now this is an oxa blade. You have seen this oxa blade, no? Or a blade or metal, what is it, a bar. The length is very large length, and D is the thickness. D is the thickness. P is the breadth. L is the length, right? I magnify this. Okay. Now when I take this thickness, see, this, I am magnifying this thickness. D is the thickness, I magnify. Now this is here. This is made up of lot of sheets, right? Lot of sheets, right? This is a rectangular longitudinal filament. These are called filament. It's made up of lot of filaments. A beam is said to be, when I say beam, this is a beam. The beam is said to be made up of lot of filaments. If you take one ream of sheet, you pull out each sheet, right? It will be, this is 2 dimension, this is the 3 dimension, right? Therefore, a longitudinal filament, this is called a longitudinal filament, is said to be made up of large number of layers. This is one layer, this is one layer, this is one layer, kept one above the other, and they are parallel to each other, right? See, sometimes when they count the notes, bundle of notes, what they'll do, they bend it like this, is it not? If you take bundle of notes, rupees, say, they bend it this side and that side, then after that they start counting, right? But if you bend it, what will happen? The upper layer looks like this, lower layer look like this, and there is one particular layer, nothing, no change, right? If you think a rubber cord, this is a rubber cord, okay, a rubber, and when you bend it, what will happen? When you bend it, this length become more, this is expansion takes place, here contraction takes place, and this particular place nothing happens. Now this is also called what? Neutral layer. I call this is called a neutral layer. Here contraction takes place, here expansion takes place. Okay, this is a neutral layer. Now this is 2 dimension. Therefore, what is a longitudinal filament? They'll ask. A longitudinal filament is made up of large number of layers, one kept above the other, okay, and each layer made up of lot of parallel metallic fibers. Then what is a neutral layer? See, this is called neutral layer, and the plane passing through this plane, there is a plane passing through, this is called neutral surface. It's called neutral surface. And if this plane, I'll write it like this. This is a neutral layer, and a line pass through the neutral layer is called neutral axis. It's called neutral axis. You understood? Now a line which intersect, intersect the plane. This is plane of bending. This is called plane of bending. Now whatever I have said, that I'll write it here, I'll show that one. A bending of a beam is said to be, the beam is a bar or rod of uniform cross section where length is very large compared to its thickness, so that shearing stress is small and can be negligible. Then what is a longitudinal filament? This is the longitudinal filaments, right? A bar can be imagined, right? A beam or bar is said to be made up of large number of layers kept one above the others, okay? They made up of parallel layers, okay? These are called longitudinal filament. 2 dimension it will be looking like that, this one. When you look the bundle of notes, sidewards it looks like topmost, or if you view at an angle, it looks like this, is it not? Then, when you bend, right? When a beam is bent in the upper layer, see this portion, I have bent, I am taking this portion of it. Can you follow? This portion only I am observing, a portion of it, not here or here, okay? This I will put it like this, okay? Can you follow? When a beam is bent, the upper portion, this is the upper portion, see, upper layer elongates and the lower layer contracts. See, this is elongates, this is what? Upper layer elongates and the lower layer contracts. This is called lower layer contracts. There is one particular layer, neither contract or expand. This layer is called neutral layer. A plane passes through this. This is the plane. A plane passes through this is called neutral layer or neutral surface. Now see how it looks in 3 dimension. This is called plane of bending. This is a plane of bending, and this is the neutral surface. This is plane of bending. Both intersect at the neutral axis. This is called neutral axis. The layer intersects. It is the layer a line. This is not a layer line. This is a line, is the intersection of plane of bending and neutral surface. Is called neutral axis. These all the things just you're supposed to know, right? No, but you have to be very careful in writing it. Okay? These notes I already sent to you. Now coming back to this, what I did here, when I apply a weight, it is bending like this. This is called action. There is a reaction acting in the opposite direction. This is called reaction. This is called, it want to rotate this direction, it prevent the rotation. This is called moment. Force into perpendicular distance. Force into perpendicular distance. Here also force into perpendicular distance. This moment or couple or external couple, this is called what? External couple want to rotate it, where reaction or internal couple want to prevent the rotation. Therefore, this is called internal bending moment, not momentum. Internal bending moment. Consider a beam at one end. This is AB, right? Now here, when a weight added, when you add the weight, what happens? Action is taking place. The reaction takes place in the opposite direction. The two forces constitute a couple. This force and this force constitute a couple, right? This external couple is balanced by internal couple. This is called internal bending moment. That means because of internal bending moment, the rod is or the beam is under equilibrium, right? It is under the equilibrium. Now you see this only. Consider a beam fixed at one end, okay, and AB is the neutral axis. When a weight or load, weight is equal to force, that is equal to mg, act downwards at one end, the reaction, this side, or you can write reaction is what? The opposite, upward direction, this is downward direction. An external applied couple, this is called external couple, is balanced by internal couple. This internal couple. This internal couple due to elastic, this internal couple is started because of elastic, this is also called restoring couple. Is also called internal bending moment. In equilibrium state, that means at rest position, the restoring couple is equal and opposite to the external. The restoring couple is also called internal bending moment, or internal bending moment is equal to the external couple, right? Therefore, the magnitude of restoring couple is equal to external couple, that is called internal bending moment. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to derive the equation what is internal bending moment for a rectangular cross section. Rectangular cross section, how it looks, see, right? This is breadth, this is thickness, area is what? Breadth into thickness. Therefore, the rectangular cross section, okay, of the thickness DB, having a moment of inertia, this is geometric moment of inertia, is equal to AK square, where A is what? Area here. What is area? Area is B into D, and K square is equal to D square by 12. These are all you are supposed to remember for rectangular. Whereas for circular cross section of radius R, area is equal to pi r square and K square is equal to D square by 4. This and all we will discuss later stages. Okay. Now coming back to this, I am taking a portion of this part of it. This part of it I am going to do in a very big magnified form. Now consider a portion of it, right? This portion, some section, right? And this is AB represent, neutral axis. Now consider the point P and Q. P and Q, right? Whose length is what? What is the length? Produce this backward. This meet at a point O, and this length is what? Radius of curvature. You know, your PUC you studied, no? This is S, this is R, theta. S is equal to what? R theta. S is this length. This is S is equal to R theta. Theta or d theta. Therefore, R theta, this length is what? R theta. This length is what? R theta, right? This length. This is the original length, L1. L1 is equal to R theta. Now consider a point P dash, which is at a distance of x above. Similarly, here also consider a point Q dash at a distance of x above it, right? Here what happened? This length, there is an increase in length. Here also there is an increase in length because there is a force, elongation, right? Elongation. Here also what? Elongation. Here, if you come down here, x. If you come down x, here there is a contraction. There is a contraction. This is an elongation. This is L1, this length. This length is what? From here to here. This is L2. What is L2? You can find out. See, this is R. From here to here, R. From here to here, R plus x. Is it not? Therefore, this is what? R plus x theta. That means you mentioned this much portion. See, this much portion. Right? This much portion. See. R plus x theta. Therefore, this I am writing here. This is R theta. This is R plus x theta, this length. This is x. This is x, is it not? Force is acting here. Force into perpendicular distance. Here also force into perpendicular distance. This force tends to rotate in this direction. The force gradually decreases. Understood? And here contraction takes place. See, here force is more, gradually decreases, becomes zero. Force, then again what? It keep increasing. Here more force. Here more force, like this. Can you follow? Similarly like this also. Right? Okay? Now consider a beam acted upon by the weight at one end. R is the radius of curvature of the neutral, radius of curvature of the neutral axis AB. That is what we consider a portion PQ, right, of the neutral axis. PQ subtend an angle, subtend an angle theta at the center of curvature. Consider another filament which is just above the distance x from the PQ, right? But PQ is equal to R theta, P dash Q dash is equal to R plus x theta. This is elongation due to what? Load. This is without load, right? Therefore, there is an increase in length. What is the increase in length? P dash Q dash minus PQ. P dash minus Q dash is equal to what? R plus x theta minus R theta. If you expand and cancel, you will get R theta. This is called increase in length. That is the increasing length you just have calculated here, right? The increase in length. Okay? Here's what? Force. Your force is nothing but weight. Can you follow? Therefore, Here, increase in length is what? This, you got it. What is linear strain? Linear strain means increase in length to original length. Increase in length is what? This. Original length is this. This is original length. This is increase in length. See, this much portion is increased both the side. X theta. Theta theta get cancelled, r theta. Therefore, stress is what? This is called strain. Linear strain. Therefore, shearing strain or whatever it is, strain is equal to x by r. Young's modulus is what? Stress by strain. Stress is what? X by, stress is force per unit area, right? Force. What is the stress here? You have calculated force per unit area is the stress. We can calculate stress here. See, what is stress? Stress is equal to Q into strain. Stress is equal to Q into increase in length by original length. Increase in length is what? Increase in by strain. How much you got it? Strain is equal to x by r. That is what? Qx by what? R is equal to stress. Stress is equal to force per unit area. Remember, same thing what? Therefore, stress is equal to Qx by r. Then what? Stress is force per unit area. Right? Now we cross multiply, where A is the area of cross section. A is the area of cross section. Now F is what? Internal elastic force. Now look, the force is acting. Look, the force into perpendicular distance, moment. Right here also, force into perpendicular moment. Therefore what? Moment is equal to force into perpendicular. Moment of a force is force into perpendicular distance. This side also same thing, that side also same thing. Right? Now you got moment of a force is equal to what? Force into perpendicular distance. Again I am repeating the same thing here. Moment of a force is what? Force into perpendicular. But force is what? You have done already here, right? We have calculated. Force is this. This I am substituting here. Here x into x, x square. Then internal bending moment, IBM, of a bar is equal to adding all this, see, adding all these forces, max, all these forces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. All the forces, this side and that side, which is happening in the entire bar. Just you put a sigma, F is equal to this, Q R square you take it, Q R you take it, sigma A square x. The sigma area into square, right, is equal to sigma AX square is denoted by, right, IG is called geometric moment of inertia. Geometric moment. Therefore, geometric moment of inertia is equal to A K square is equal to sigma AX square. That is it. Where K is radius of gyration. I think in some other class, other teacher will be engaging the moment of inertia. Okay, I am not going to discuss this. Okay, but anyway, I use the moment of inertia. Just you remember this. Therefore, instead of this, I am going to write AK square. Then what? Case 1. For a rectangular cross section, what do you get? Don't bother about the length. Thickness and breadth is important. Area is equal to B into D. K square is equal to D square B. Then if you substitute geometric moment of inertia, you get this value. You substitute here. That is what? QAK square. That is what? Internal bending momentum is equal to what? Q by R IG. This is a very, very important formula that IG is substitute here for full Q by R, and this is moment of inertia. Similarly for circular, pi R square, K square R by 2, this one, right? I substitute here, A square is pi R square R 4. This again you put it here, you'll be getting this value, right? So for circular value, circular cross section, internal bending momentum is this much. Now here the last top portion they may ask you what is flexural rigidity. What is called flexural rigidity? There is another small concept. See, I am trying to bend it, but it prevent its bending. Got it? That is this called it shows its nature, its rigidity. What is flexural? For a given force, how much it will bend. That's called flexural rigidity. See, internal bending moment is equal to what you write? Q by R Ig, isn't it? Therefore, Young's modulus and moment of inertia by R. Got it? Now if this is equal to 1, the radius of curvature is 1 unity, then what will happen? Internal bending moment is equal to Q and Ig. This is called flexural rigidity when unit radius of curvature. This quantity is called flexural rigidity. Therefore, how to define flexural rigidity? Flexural rigidity of a material is defined as internal bending momentum required to produce a unit radius. Therefore, flexural rigidity of the material is defined as the internal bending moment required to produce a unit radius of curvature. See, that only I have written here. Alright? Flexural rigidity. If R is equal to 1 unity, internal bending moment is equal to this. They may ask you what is flexural rigidity of a material is defined as it is internal bending moment when what? Unit required to produce a unit radius of curvature. This much if you write, that is more than sufficient. Yesterday all the notes I have sent for you except this. This also I will send along with the video. Go through that, go through the textbook, and it will be easy for you, right?